A little more netware for you. Back here, fresh cup of tea. And I recently went down the path of getting TCP IP enabled, not to be confused with Netware IP. We'll deal with that later. But this is just the basic TCP IP parts of Netware 4.11. And we'll install this little thing, the web server, which is kind of cool. I didn't know, like, there's a version of BASIC that can run on here. It's got Perl CGI. Server side includes, of course, like old school stuff. Net Basic for Internet. I have no idea what some of this is or how to get to it yet, although I've been messing around with it. We'll dig into this a little rabbit hole. The other one is FTP. Takes a second. And here we go. I am now FTP'd into a Netware server. No idea what I can do with it, but we'll go through how I got it up and running, how to install it, and you can do it yourself. I used ZXNet's excellent instructions for a lot of this, including both the web server and the FTP server. Definitely a shout out to the person that runs this site. Quite helpful. Doing it on Proxmox, as I've done everything else, as this has been my Proxmox excuse. So where do we start with? Let's hop on this one. This is one of my VMs. We're going to down it, destroy it, and start from scratch on a new one, and I'll walk you through it. Come on. Okay. Do a stop. Yes. And remove. And away it goes. What are we going to start with for the base VM? Let's see here. I have an image sitting up on my PVE host, my Proxmox machine, that is an installed NetWare box. Has NDS running and everything else. I'm going to do a QM restore from that file. Let's call this, we want to call this VM. Let's call it 80. You need a 1, so let's call it 180. There we go. 180 is created. Let's double check some settings here. What do we need to do? Let's see, PVE QEMU 180.conf. Let's see, I need, in this case, we're installing we're just going to configure IP to start with. So let's just add the -VNC option of 0.000 colon. Well, let's give this IP number 180 to match, or port number, sorry, 80. Then it'll be 5980. Disk. Let's just change the MAC just in case. And there we go. You know, we are going to need the CD to do the install, so let's go to the hardware here. And let's grab the Novell Netware. Nope, wrong one, DUI. There we go, the Netware OS ISO. And since I really like using VNC to do this, we'll change that to 5980. So we can use that. And let's start it up. Cool. Let's go over here. Let's connect to our VNC. What do we have here now? This is a pretty much completely built machine. Well, let's, first things, load inet CFG. This is going to transfer over configuration settings from some of your NCF files into a new NCF file. Say yes. You'll note that AutoExec CFG is going to get changed. So where do we start? Protocols, TCP/IP, enabled. I am going to turn on OSPF, and I'm going to turn on static routing for the list, and let's insert a default route of 192.168.42.1. Save that, update, yes. So what do we do? It came on. I'm enabling OSPF. Yeah, it's up to you. I'll set this up later. Static routing, I get you a default gateway, and that is all we need. Boom, TCP IP is now enabled. Let's go bind it to an interface. .180, we'll match that. Sorry, my bad. 80. 255, 255, 255. I don't have any options. Let's update it. Save it. I read you can do a reinitialize system here. It hasn't worked for me, so I just do it down. Exit. Start it back up again. All right, let's do a ping 192.168.42.80. Boom, there we go. Takes a second to start coming up. Scared me for a bit. Well, let's do it over here. Let's do a load ping. Well, let's just see 192.168.42.1, my default gateway. Sent and received. Let's delete that target. And let's try 1.1.1.1. 100%. So IP is now working. What did that take? 5 minutes? Let's what do we do next? Let's start up the web server next, and we'll get an HTTP interface. So make sure your CD-ROM is connected because it's on there. We went in here to hardware, CD drive, made sure that CD-ROM is loaded. Let's do a load CD-ROM. CD volume list 1. Oh, CD mount NW411. Let's do a load install. Product options. Up here, select web server. It knows the path. And away it goes. I'm not sure where it parks as the HTTP route. I need to get a client fired up and connect to it. But it says right there, right? Destination path, syscon. I think it's syscon.web is where it lands on the server. I have a client. Now, by the way, in the future, I'm going to have a video on how to install a Windows and Windows for Workgroups and a couple of other clients. I actually have a couple of them running now over here with Windows and Windows for Workgroups with both ODI and 16 and 32-bit versions of the install for the client. Though I think I like the client 32 a little bit better. I don't know. We'll see. Come on. Finish up. There is a README. Nope. Do I want to stop to read README? No. That is my local host name. There's no progress bar here, is there? While that's going, I'll give a brief intro on the FTP server. What you're going to need for the FTP server is a separate ISO. It is available out there on the internet. You're going to have to go find it. And it is CD4, Google Novell Internetware CD4 FTP services. Find that ISO, download it, and stick it up on your PVE host. That's the one that we're going to install FTP from. Web server password. F10 to exit. Nope, hit escape. 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 Yes, let's do it down. Exit and start it back up again. And this is what's kind of nice on a virtual machine. My physical boxes, when you down it, this kind of changes, adds the kernel debug, so hit Alt Escape to get back to the console. You can Alt Escape. There's the web server. Oh, script server. I never saw this. Copyright 199. Oops. Perl NLM. So Alt Escape, you can bounce through these things on the console. Let's see what it looks like. We should actually be able to go to... That's 47.80. Boom. There we go. Oops. What did I do wrong? I must have clicked by it. And there's your web server. Up and running. I have no idea how to use it yet. Like I said, one thing at a time. We'll learn how to use it as time goes on. And I'll post some videos on what I learn. Next up, the FTP server. So we are going to want to go over here. Go to, what am I thinking? Hardware, yep. Take off that CD-ROM drive. And let's put on the FTP server. Like we did before, load CD-ROM and CD volume list. Alrighty, a little slow that time. But there it is. So let's go CD mount NW. Load install. This is going to be a little different. We're going to go to product options. Go up here. Nope. Choose an item or product not listed above. Why is it? It's all product not listed. My bad. What am I doing? All right, we need a different path. The path for this is going to be, I got a note here somewhere. Oops, that's an X. NWUXPS. F3. NWUXPS :NWUXPS. Do we want to read the README? No. Skip it? No. So it defaults to the wrong path here, so give it NW server. Yeah, we'll install the online documentation too. Go back here. Here's that path. NWUXPS. I guess that's probably the volume name that we mounted from the CD, :/ and then the directory. Yeah, it's from there. Now, one thing it's going to do at the end here, and I read the sort of a brief summary that ZXNet has here. If we read through what this posting has, towards the end, it talks about where it authenticates with. And it looks like the option is there to do several ways. You can do DNS locally or remote, and NIS, which, wow, I haven't seen NIS in years. It'd be cool to have that back up again. I don't know if it actually uses it, and it looks like the author here wasn't actually sure if it uses it, but I selected remote DNS because I have a DNS server, and local NIS because it seems to install parts of NIS locally when it does this. We'll see. Again, yeah, the author here goes into basically like, I'm not sure what it does either. It'll load Unicon when we're done at the end here. And we'll configure it and start it up. I don't know how long this takes. I think this took a little while before. I'm going to pause this so you don't have to sit here and wait for it. Oh, there, that was quick. Or not. All right, HostDB doesn't exist. Close the screen. Here we go. Up comes Unicon. We got to log in. I log in as admin. It's kind of slow tonight. Here is that question. I am going to select remote DNS and local NIS. NIS domain name, I guess just pick the one. Domain name. So in this case, I know. So 192.168.42.46 is my DNS server. Escape. Continue install. Yes. I wonder if it generates an NIS map on the fly. Yeah, I should probably read the docs on the Unix print services. I think that's what actually is being installed here. That makes sense. UXPS. The author of that article seems to mention there's some Unix print services stuff that's kind of confusing as well. And yeah, it does some NFS installs, but we're not actually doing any NFS stuff. All right. How do we start it up? So the NIS server does seem to be running. What do we want to turn on? We want to turn on the FTP server. Escape, 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 escape. Well, let's do an alt escape and let's just see if we got anything else here. Installed. Well, let's see what happens. Let's go FTP 292.168.42.80. Haha. Takes a second. I suspect that's some sort of authentication thing there on the back end. What do we have? Web. This looks like that's the HTTP root directory, which is kind of cool. You can FTP the stuff back and forth. Let's just verify it all comes back up again. So quit out of here. Do it down. We can now go over here and unmount that CD off the VM. We don't need it anymore. Oh, you can add, I think it might actually add Unix namespace support, so you get long Unix file names. I think it might actually add it automatically. What's it called? It was mentioned on here. Long.name. No, nfs.name. So let's go load nfs.name. Already loaded. Yeah, I thought it already did it. Well, let's double check. Let's go over here to HTTP. Let's copy that, close it, bring it up. HTTP Web Server, and let's double check with FTP. And there it is. I would love to hear from other people how to actually manage this stuff, how it works. I'm going to start digging in some more as well, but I would invite you. I've got enough videos now. Fire up your Netware machine, build up a web server, build up an FTP server, and rock like it's 1999 again. That's all I got for now. Take care. Enjoy. Laters.